October 1962. The world stood on the edge of nuclear annihilation. One wrong move, and none of us would be here today. Have you ever wondered how close we came to the end of the world? Not in theory, for real. This is the true story of 13 terrifying days when the United States and the Soviet Union brought the world to the brink of total destruction. It was called the Cuban Missile Crisis. On October 14, 1962, a U.S. spy plane flying over Cuba snapped photos that changed everything. Soviet nuclear missiles were being installed just 90 miles from the American coast. Each missile could wipe out a major U.S. city in minutes. President John F. Kennedy was briefed. His response? John F. Kennedy, VO. How could Khrushchev do this? Kennedy had two choices. 1. Bomb Cuba and risk Soviet retaliation. 2. Blockade Cuba and try to talk it out. He chose option 2, but with a twist. He called it a quarantine, a clever word to avoid declaring war. But tensions escalated. Soviet ships kept coming. The world watched breathless. October 27th, now known as Black Saturday, an American U-2 plane was shot down over Cuba. U.S. generals begged Kennedy to retaliate. At the same time, a Soviet submarine armed with a nuclear torpedo was cornered by U.S. warships. They thought war had already started. The Soviet captain wanted to fire. But one man, Vasili Arkhipov, said no. That man might have saved the world. In secret, a deal was struck. The U.S. would remove its missiles from Turkey. In return, the Soviets would pull their missiles out of Cuba. Crisis averted, just barely. 13 days, one wrong move, hundreds of millions of lives at stake, and yet, we survived. Not because of strength, not because of luck, but because, in the darkest moment, a few people chose peace over pride. Let that sink in. If you thought this was intense, imagine living through it. Share this video. Let history remind us what's at stake.